Wait, hold on. I
What?
have makeshift devil horns.
Oh no, that was
Happy New
actually
Year.
was that this week or last week?
Which?
Yes. And welcome back to another Linux Gamecast Weekly, the show that covers the latest Linux gaming news, reviews, how-tos, and most importantly, whatever the hell else we come up with. And that's Jordan, together with you, Shadow Realm Dynamic, helping us form Cocaine, Shifty Lion, the Voltron. I just remembered that I was going to do a zoom out, have a little something a little shifty over there, but maybe next week.
Yeah.
Next week might be fun. Stay tuned. We got
we have plans. We'll see.
we have been plotting
ADHD.
against. Yes. What do we do? We plot against our audience in the pre super shows. And go ahead and give that a listen. You get a chance. Big show. We're going to get right into it in just a minute. But I want to play a little catch up and mustard. How was the Toronto board game? I didn't know. There's like competitive board games.
There are, yeah. I mean, any game where you can have like a winner, there's going to be people competing. Yeah, no, I had a blast at Breakout. I met some cool people, played some cool games. Ate a bunch of burgers because I don't know, for whatever reason that was like a burger weekend.
What's a bunch of burgers?
Like I don't know, 3 burgers.
How many? Okay, are we talking like
three burgers over 4 days is like a lot. It's like I don't normally eat burgers at that frequency, right?
Okay, how many?
Like
Okay, all right. Here's what I'm thinking about. Are we talking like regular size hamburgers or like you're buying like, you know, what you'd call just like I call them the fun size, you know? Or like a burger.
They're like decent sized burgers. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I found out that there was a Shake Shack that opened in Toronto, and I've tried Five Guys. I've tried, what was the other one? In-N-Out, but I have not tried Shake Shack. And I will say those burgers are a distant third. Their shakes are good though, because that's like they use actual frozen custard, so that was nice. But the burger itself, I really feel that like it's the beef that makes or breaks it, and yeah, it was just kind of bland.
All right.
Yeah. But no, breakout was real fun. I had a blast. Really looking forward to it next year. I'm going to try and get even more games and be a little more aggressive with the scheduling.
Come to like throw down.
Yeah. Apparently they had like 24-hour gaming sessions and like stuff running into the wee hours.
Did you ever do that? Did they have that here? Like I used to go to an all-night skate thing growing up. We had skating rinks back then, I know.
Okay, because like when you said all-night skate thing, for whatever reason, my brain translated that to skateboards.
Yes.
in the dark.
Tony Stone.
Yeah.
We used to do that. And it's just like it'd be like a lock-in at the but it wasn't locked in. You'd go out and do the drugs out back with the other kids. But yeah, allegedly. What have I been up to? Oh, dude. Been playing around. I want to give a big shout out to whoever you are in Santa Clara, Illinois. No, not Santa Clara. Santa Clara, California.
Sherman, Illinois.
You never know, dude, right?
Yep.
You never know. Like, you know, Athens, Ohio has confused me on more than one occasion.
Dude, yeah, there's an Ontario, California. This is
Paris, Texas, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, sure, why not? I've been noticing this because I've been tracking like a performance issue on the Interfacing Linux website. So I got the WordFence thing up, and it doesn't track people coming in or leaving, but it tracks people going back, you know, between pages. And somebody's had that fucking Steam on ARM article open in their tabs list all damn week, dude. It's you. All week I've been seeing you. Like every time you open your damn browser or get refresh, and I'm like, close those tabs, man. So if you're listening to the show, close those tabs. You've already read it. But speaking of ARM stuff, the Orion 06 earlier this week, if you follow me on social media, is like, I wanted to do something with the board. We're waiting on CIX to like get all the stuff upstream. We're waiting on the Mesa. We're waiting on kernel support. Let me download PlayStation 3 emulator, RPCS 3, and just try it out. Watch it explode. It didn't explode, not even a little bit. So I might do a little video on that, but I need some feedback because I never had a PS3. What games are something you would be interested in seeing run on an emulator, an ARM emulated device? Like, let me know, not in chat, like let me know in the comments section, like for real. If you get like, oh yeah, I'd like to know if this would run or not.
I'll throw out Journey. I think
Journey?
that would be really interesting. Yeah, Journey. I think that's a downloadable one.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that would be interesting.
My list was the ones I've already got, and it was Afro Samurai. I always wanted to play that, and what was the other one? God of War collection, like 1 and 2. So I know those. Those were my short list of like what would I want to play in a PlayStation 3 emulator. Like, let me know. They might show up in the video.
Does MGS4 run on our PCS3?
I don't know.
Because that was like one of those games that was really hard to port because it uses like literally all of the features of the PS3. And I don't know how well that.
I would say Sonic Unleashed, but I've been playing Sonic Unleashed like unironically trying to beat the game a little bit the past couple.
Heavenly Sword.
Heavenly Sword. All right. See if we can get Jordan to leave a comment on one of our YouTube videos.
Sure.
You'd be doing better than me, dude.
Let's see if I remember to leave a comment.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Like I do want like a little bit of a like, because I'm only going to be able to do like 4 or 5 of them, like and like get the performance. But stay tuned for that over on Interfacing Linux. But speaking of Sonic, dude, I've been playing that a little bit. Sonic Unleashed, not on PS3, but Sonic Unleashed recompiled. You can play it on your PC. Its performance is just really good. And I'd never really played a 3D Sonic.
How are you liking it?
The Sonic stuff, the running around, just as daytime Sonic is like kind of pressed forward to continue. But, you got the God of War werehog mode where you're like battling around and the camera is constantly trying to kill you this entire time. I got stuck on this spot. Maybe you've run into this in the video game where you get to the end boss of the level, but there's a lot of crap in the way. Tedious stuff in the way. Not stuff that you can speed run. This is like a Sonic game. So I'm going to drag this block, line that up, go turn some cranks over here to move, then move that block, then do that.
It's an environment puzzle, basically. Yeah.
Multiple ones stacked, and there's no checkpointing in the save. If you come back another day, you got to do it all over again, but it will checkpoint you. And I've been running up against this boss, which is just like this collection of these robots to beat me, and they're just stepping on me, man. Like nothing I can do. Like, and I watch people play it on YouTube, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And this is me playing games, so I get like 30, 35 minutes recently a week to play video games. So I've been sneaking this in, and like, because you can get through this in about 10 minutes and get to there and just die. Guess what I found this week?
Is there a convenient post that you can hide behind and just shoot the guy?
I looked. I looked.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, I have no shame for cheese points, dude.
Always I gotta check now. It's like, is there a giant column in the middle that you can just hide behind?
Sometimes I feel bad about that when that happens in any game, but I never don't accept my fortune. I'm like, I didn't. No, this is what I don't know. Maybe you've run into this. When I went back to watch, I saw a guy go, oh yeah, hang on, let me upgrade my character real quick.
Oh.
You ever run into this? I was like, right. That was briefly mentioned at the beginning of the game. I'd not upgraded my character since the beginning of the game. And I'm like,
so you just had like all the skill points, dump them all in health
I was nerfed and I was getting good. And I was like, I've done this in games before. I've just achieved like this inhuman level of skill to like get through with an
some Dark Souls fist only run
exactly
shit,
right. It's like fist and Skyrim type shit, and immediately like dumped everything. I went there and squad wiped it, and I said I'm on it.
Yeah, I don't run into that problem specifically. No, okay, all right, no. I can remember the last time I ran into that problem. That was Grandia 2 on the PlayStation when I went back to play it on the Switch because they did a remaster. You gotta rub it.
I gotta rub the dribble.
You gotta rub it a little bit. Give it a little belly rub. But yeah, like you could upgrade the magic spells. It's like, oh, this guy's super weak to fire. If you just dump all your upgrade points in fire, he just dies instantly. I'm like, but now I'm kind of obsessive about like every time I get up. The people who like, oh, I'm gonna wait 5 levels and then dump all my points. I'm like, no, I level up. Goes here.
I guess it was just me. I was not expecting like a skill progression system in Sonic, right?
I guess in a Sonic game for sure. I guess
it was there. Like it's there, and you can do it. Like in the last time that happened to me was Shotten.
Okay, the stealth game, yeah.
The stealth game. Guess I did not realize that you could drag the bodies into the hay bales and hide them. I got very far in that first level without doing that. It was like one of those situations, and like you or Pedro mentioned, I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
Good old murder bush.
Yeah.
Always murder bush.
Something that is just going to straight up eat the murder bush each and every week's our horse, man.
This one is released by Lenovo, and you can get it for $10 million. It's the Steam
Linux
update
of the week. Are you going to cut off that button? Did you do it? Yeah, it did. Look at that. Good news, everybody. We've been waiting. We've been talking about it, and coming to a Best Buy near you. Experience console class gaming in a handheld device. This is a brand new format. They're trying something new. They're going to give you a PC in handheld.
What?
Yeah, I know. Never been tried before. Lenovo is breaking ground with this. Why are we talking about this? Like, for real, though. We got a couple of... Oh.
There's a pre-order page now, yeah.
Pre-order page, and there's a SteamOS, which is new. 100%.
SteamOS.
SteamOS. That's what I'm calling it, dude. AMD Ryzen Z2 Go and Z1 Extreme variants. They come in 16 and 32 gigajoule editions. Both models feature 8-inch screen, 120 hertz display. $549.99, Jordan. I don't think that's bad for the basic model.
Yeah, the I was looking at the Canadian pricing over here because I live in the north. Yeah. Beyond the wall, as it were. And they on the Canadian site, they only have the 32 gig one available for pre-order, as far as I can tell. And that one is a little north of 1,000 Canadian. And that's for the 32 gig model. The comparable one is like the 16 gig one is the 16 gig one. And they're doing some currency conversion. The Legion Go comes out like about $100 more than the Steam Deck, but you know, it's reasonable, I guess, for what you're paying for. It's essentially just like mid-range laptop level price, I would say.
Well, I mean,
between like $600 and $1,000, $1,200.
Come on, dude. You gotta love that there's a mothering Windows tax on these things, right?
Oh yeah, always.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You want the exact same thing, but with Windows on it, it's $100 more.
You want it to run worse?
Yeah.
Give us more money. But you can't play Fortnite. That's the important thing.
This is true. Well, I mean, you could just put Windows on it when you got home, though, right?
That would require people understanding how to install operating systems.
Fair point. Now,
so GA in Canada for this is June 6th, according to the Best Buy website.
May 25th here.
Okay, so we're getting it a bit later.
Yeah, but that's like how late was the Steam Deck? It wasn't too bad, was it?
No, it wasn't. I think they were pretty easy about shipping, like outside, just as long as it was in North America. Mm-hmm. So yeah, in terms of that, but I also didn't buy a Steam Deck like launch year. I waited a year for.
Well, I'm kind of excited about this because, you know, Steam Decks, we've gotten OLED displays. That's about it. You know, little tiny redesigns, no performance.
So, little bit of a CPU bump, a little bit.
Maybe. I mean, because like both of these are shipping with, when it just comes to that GPU goodness, RDNA 3, 12 of those bad boys, 12 of those CUs compared to just 8 RDNA 2s. Mm-hmm. 2 CUs that you're going to find in your Steam Deck. Now that does this power, you know, the actual 8-core 16-thread or the 4-core 8-thread variants clock in at 15 to 30 watts, which is significantly higher than a Steam Deck, if we're going to be honest. But
I do have to wonder though, because I have the one of the ThinkPads here, also a Lenovo. I have 2 of the same fucking ThinkPad. One has the 2500U, the ancient ass Ryzen. The other one has the 2700U. The 2500U one actually outperforms the 2700U one just because of the thermal throttling. The 27U runs hotter, and so the BIOS clocks it down. So I do wonder if we're gonna get like a similar situation here, or if like they have the cooling and throttling stuff all better handled.
Nah, man, I got a fanless Noctua heatsink I could put on it.
Yeah, no, you just gotta slap the Hyper 212 on it.
It also works as a dock.
Yeah,
put it on.
Those old Game Boy accessories where you could like clip on like the flip over lights and shit.
Yeah,
we just need that with like.
We do need to mention, since we're talking about Lenovo, this does not have not Wii chucks on it like the other one.
Yes,
This is like a single unit.
Yes, because it is basically just the Legion Go just running SteamOS. And like, yeah, I mean, one thing occurred to me while I was sitting on the toilet today. I mean, look, it makes sense that Lenovo is kind of the first out of the gate here. Lenovo does have a history of selling Linux on their laptops. You can just like buy an Ubuntu or a Fedora one on their site, or at least you were able to for the longest time. So it's nice to see that they are continuing on that trend.
Well, you know, my first thought about this is like, this is a really good price. The one thing we've said, like, Valve will always win. Why? Because $300. Like, you can get a Steam Deck for like $300, and everybody else is, up until recently, these things were like starting at $700 for like the mid. $500 with that much more grunt to it, with official SteamOS support. But that made me think, what's the biggest difference here? Now you got to deal with two, mother and father, when something goes wrong. And, you know, instead of just taking everything to Gabe and been like, hardware is broke, problem with software, one-stop shop. Now it's,
oh man, Lenovo has some problems with their BIOSes too. So like, yeah, that could be a real thing.
Yeah, like who do you talk to? Because you know you're going to get caught in the go ask your mom.
Mind you, Lenovo is pretty good with the FWFD thing for like the Linux firmware management stuff. So, so like honestly, it may not be that bad. There may just be like long wait in between like identifying bugs and the actual delivery of the fix. But once that's delivered, I think it's pretty easy to like just get it looped into your Steam Deck or your Legion.
Basically, what Jordan and I are saying is neither of us want to do tech support for this at Lenovo.
No,
none.
Not unless they pay me an obscene amount of money.
I mean, that, and we get to record it.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Done.
There is a brand new vector for your Steam games. It's Xbox.
Damn it.
Yeah, so Xbox had a bit of a presentation where they showed off a bit of a screen cap about this new Xbox app that they are.
No, they didn't. How dare you?
Yeah, well, you know, it got removed. But in this alleged screenshot, you got some categories like recently added, installed, owned, Game Pass, and what's this? Steam?
Yeah, we're gonna have to zoom in and enhance, aren't we? Oh,
yes, you do.
There it is.
They did zoom in and enhance. There's some hullabaloo. What's going on with this Xbox app? What's gonna happen? How is Steam gonna be factored into this? And I don't know. I've long suspected that like the long-term game plan for Xbox is to transition it into like Xbox as a service, using some combination of like Game Pass, game streaming, subscription models, however blockchain, if they're feeling psychopathic enough, however they want to actually facilitate this, but essentially just or some sort of like Steam remote play thing, but for Xbox, where you can play PC game more than just games for Windows Live games on your Xbox. We were talking before about the importance of keeping people on platform, and I feel that this is probably the end goal. Is, you know, you can still buy your games off Steam, you can still buy your games off GOG, but you can also buy them on Steam and on GOG through Xbox. So we can give you our features and give you our marketing, and you know, just keep you on platform and keep you nice.
Offer you a Office 365.
Reach out to you on LinkedIn and say, hey, have you tried installing Ubuntu?
Dude, no, this all came from a GDC that went on this week, which nothing really big came out of. There was an interesting talk from one of the Valve founders. She was responsible for getting DRM implemented for Valve games because of her nephew bought a CD burner. He was getting ready to like head into uni. And she gave him like $500, and he wrote her back, and he's like, "Thanks for the money. I bought a CD burner, and I'm making copies of games for all my friends." And she's like, "Shit, we got to do something about this."
Whoops.
I'm waiting for that talk. I actually want to see how she went through that. But Microsoft showed up. Yeah, and they showed this, and to the validity of it, like I said a couple of weeks ago, like The Verge is actually doing good reporting recently. Is like they reached out and they're like, "Hey, what's this Steam thing about?" And Microsoft said, it doesn't mean anything. By the way, we immediately removed that image. It was just a mock-up. Pay no attention to it. But why would they put it in the data? Now, Microsoft did come back and say, we want, like, the scuttlebutt is, like, they want everything to be available for you to view. Epic Games, your GOG, your Steam. But they didn't bring any mentions with being able to play it. Now, it doesn't cost anything. Like Valve would be like, sure, man, put the Steam store in there. Like, long as Microsoft doesn't try to get a
Steam already has launch the game through launch a non-Steam app through Steam. Might be something very similar to this in Windows, right?
Jordan, do you think like maybe old Phil's looking at this and going, you know, our architecture ain't all that different. Like maybe we should dip our toe into playing some PC games on this old Xbox hardware that nobody's buying games for.
Yeah, no, I like I said, I definitely think the desire here is to like extend the reach wherever possible.
Yeah,
it's that old classic Microsoft adage, you know, embrace, extend something or other. Yeah, I mean, again, I really feel like this is very much a let's try to keep everyone on platform, because at the very least, like Microsoft also does a lot of data collection now, and like they're a data broker at this point. They are collecting a lot of data from like Windows PC users via like Copilot and shit like that.
I wouldn't be surprised. Signed up for Copilot.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
I did. They dark patterned my ass on GitHub. I wasn't paying attention.
My condolences. Yeah. But yeah, like I'm sure there's like some ulterior motive here. There always is. It's Microsoft, man. Well, they can't help themselves.
Is it ulterior motive, or are we at the point of like to the death throes before Microsoft becomes the next Sega, right?
I think if anything, they're going to try and like pivot to like an IBM type situation, right? They just become sort of this meta container for like everything else.
Yeah, I don't know. Let us know what you think. Are we going to get another Xbox? I'd be surprised.
I think we might get one more.
And Xbox. I was thinking about this earlier this week, dude. Like they both fucked it up royally. I'm looking at you too, Sony. Sony not as bad. Sony's at least logical. It used to be, and I don't even have to say back in my day, back in all of our days, you would have the current model Xbox, current model PlayStation. Then Sony got a little wild, got a little bit crazy, and they're like, how about a pro version? I'm like, you know what? I can handle that. And you're like, do you got the vanilla, or do you got the, one with the extra juice in it? Microsoft snooted a line of PCP, and like now they have like, I have fuck all idea. Like if you told me like, buy the fastest Xbox current, I'm like, is it the XS? I have no idea.
I believe it is the X. The S is the poo poo baby one that is the one that all the developers hate because it barely runs about as well as the Xbox One.
I have no idea, dude. And it's crazy. All right, so I'm about to show you something. I told
Vincent Van Gogh presents
Google
Half-Life.
to draw me a picture of Half-Life 2 in AI. I didn't, but it might look a lot like this. This is Half-Life 2 RTX demos out. I know it's Windows only, but I mean, you got to try it, man, because it's ray traced crowbars, and we've kind of talked about it. It's using the NVIDIA Remix, which is, their AI solution to mod games using remixes and RTXs and all that fun stuff, man.
AI upscale your assets to higher resolutions so that you can...
And let's be very clear, this thing's got 35 gigs of, the mod team developed assets, so like they've done some work here. This wasn't just like, feed it through the machine. This is going to give you DLSS 4, frame gen, all the crazy stuff that you would come to expect to have to deal with modern games because they're so horribly inefficient. Minimum system requirements, pretty low. 3060 Ti. I got a 3060, so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give this thing a try. And
I still need an i7 though.
I played it, man. I put it up on Threadbooper, and at 1080p, I was surprised. But why was I surprised? Because I've played Portal. Okay, I've launched Portal. I've launched Quake 2 RTX at 720p. Now, admittedly, somebody's like, Quake 2 is path trace. Yeah, I know, dude, but I was doing good to like get 15, in the old 3060. This was really smooth. I was like, what is it? Enough time, like, I got to figure out what my FPS was. And it was hovering around like 20 to 23. Very consistent, though, playable. There's a lot to be said about frame pacing that you can just put up with. And I was ready to put up with a lot but then I got to looking at stuff. Then I made the mistake of like rolling the trackball up and the sky went. And it, like at that speed to what I just did there. No exaggeration. Like it just lined the tops of the trees. Like it was like hallucinating and waiting for it to come back in. Apparently it runs on AMD. Maybe it runs on Intel. I don't know. It's free. I think you need Half-Life 2 and registered to your account. Maybe you don't. But go try it.
For the demo, I think you're probably in the clear. For the full game, I imagine you'd need they'd give it to you if you have like Half-Life 2.
I wanted to play around with it more. What I didn't realize when I first downloaded it, because this was it just like optimized. There's a like Control Shift Alt butterfly to pull up like the menu to like force it to, I think
it was Alt X according to the article. Anyways.
Something like that. And I went to download it again, and apparently I didn't care enough. I didn't care to re-download the 35 gigs. I was like, whatever, I don't care. Go try it, man. If you want, it looks like it has the potential to be pretty, but you're not going to be playing this thing without the FSR and frame gen at 4K.
I wonder how this plays with that the fake Michaud's fake NV API thing from last week.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, I wonder if you could get some shit working with that.
It was somebody at Blue Sky like hit me up because I posted a picture of it, like that picture I showed everybody, of like it's basically looking like a really nice oil painting, and they were like, I got a laptop 4060. Do you think it'll run? And I'm like, it's gonna look roughly like that. You'll be able to smear around in it. Don't get your hopes up for like the next generation thing. However, check under your bed. Most of us, we have like spare 5090s floating around.
You just find them. I found one behind the fridge the other day.
Yeah, it's in the bushes. I was like, oh, look at that. That's what I don't care. I don't care. We were talking about thrift stores. If I went to a thrift store and I saw like a 5090 like just laying there, I don't care if it had some blood stains on that bitch. I'd just be like, coming home with me, dude. We're not going to ask any questions. We're just going to go check out right now and take it home. Then I'm going to sell it on eBay.
Slightly 5090, only slightly cursed.
Yeah, a little bit cursed. Dude, so another thing, World of Goo. Man, Jordan, you got memories of this.
Oh, man. Yeah, I remember sitting in class one day on my laptop in school, and I'm like, what's this about a humble indie bundle? They have Linux games? They have World of Goo. That's the name of a game that I've heard of.
That's what sold you. What sold me was Amnesia.
It wasn't Amnesia. It was Penumbra.
Penumbra. That game they made. Yeah.
Honestly, I'd never heard of Penumbra at that point. So, but like World of Goo was the one that that was like, it was like, oh yeah, I've heard of this one. So I bought the humble bundle, and then it's been history ever since. But yeah, they finally have a release date for not quite a release date. They have a release period for World of Goo 2. It comes off the Little Inferno page. Little Inferno was also a pretty fun game 15 years ago. Look at your hands, Rose. Look at your hands. But yeah, it's good to see that the Goo guys and gals are still keeping on with the native Linux games. So God, that's
that Cthulhu looking motherfucker. Yeah, dude,
that wasn't that like Birdo from Super Mario?
Gotta bet, man. I mean, if you're watching the trailer, if you've watched the trailer, I don't think this has been terribly updated. What type of bullshit? Maybe there's a plot now. Okay, maybe they got that going on. But I remember watching this trailer a couple of months ago when it came out, and I'm like, it doesn't look bad, but it just looks like more World of Goo 1. Like, I didn't see like any new mechanics in here. I was really hoping for like VR support, maybe a light crafting system or some type of nemesis system. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not knocking it. Thank you for reminding me Little Inferno exists. I remember talking to Jordan about this. We got review copies for it, and I'm like, all you do is just burn shit. I'm like, yep.
It was pretty satisfying, honestly. Like I was
asking you, I'm like, am I doing something wrong? You're like, no,
just keep burning stuff, make money, buy more stuff to burn it.
There it is. There's the calamari.
Yes, the calamari of Cthulhu. Do they have any? They have a couple different new types of goo. I think
constructor portal. Yeah,
Goo constructor portal. I think that's the main thing. Is it's not like a huge revolutionary change, but there's some tweaks. There's some new stuff.
It looks dark.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Well, yeah. Give anything some googly eyes and have it be crushed to death by a giant machine, and that'll satisfy most of this crowd.
Oh man. So coming out in Q3, which will be about April and June, somewhere in there.
Yeah, Q2 apparently. Yeah.
Whenever? Yeah, 2025 this year.
Couple months.
Yeah.
They got some time before Silk Song. Let's put it that way.
Let me go get my clown wig and nose and makeup and start putting this shit on. Talking about the Switch 2 announcement as my latest.
Yeah, I'm Boo Boo the Fool. Yeah,
dude. For like Hollow Knight, Silk Song, I'm like, that would be one hell of a launch title,
right? Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it just?
And I will hate it because Nintendo and like insist on having like parity pricing across.
But isn't that a Microsoft property now? Doesn't like Microsoft own, or it was like a Game Pass exclusive? It was supposed to come out on Game Pass or something.
Oh, they burnt that fucking bridge, dude. They burnt that. It was like 2 or 3 years ago at the Summer Games Fest.
They kept announcing it's really coming this time.
Showed off Silk Song, went to social media because somebody's like, wait. Because at the end of that presentation, then like all games before the July of and like the social media was like, yep, all games guaranteed, and like that years ago, adding to the lore of like, will this game ever come out? So yeah,
listen, it's there alongside the Linux port of Street Fighter V.
I mean, it'd be a lot easier to play than go listen to the pre super shows, and I'll tell you about the movie game I'm playing right now. But we need to talk about Kandria.
Yes.
Kandria? What was this game written in? Didn't it have like some...
It was done entirely in Lisp, which was really neat. And it was open source. You could get the game on GitHub. But yeah, they have some updates.
I fell off of it for you know what? I remembered because I had to go like look it up. It got a little too Metroidvania with me with like the backtracking, and then it tried to turn into Celeste.
Well, yeah, the issue was there's like in between like the actual levels are like these little Celeste challenges that are just like short. I didn't know if they were shortcuts or not in between the levels. And at one point I got to one where it's just like, I just can't do this. I don't have the manual dexterity. Can I head back? Oh God, I barely got through that one. How the hell do I do it in reverse?
I was enjoying the Metroidvania, bits of it, more Metroid, less on the Vania, and having a good time. But yeah, when Celeste showed up there, I'm like, I'm not in the mood. I was just not feeling it at the time. But there's some updates, some Linux fixes, man, because, it's now going to default to that new kid on the block, PipeWire, when it's available. So that's good. I just really enjoyed the comment in here. There's a fix for the audio output to select devices on Windows not working due to ... bizarre and inexplicable behavior of WAS, the Windows
WAS API.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that'll get fixed. I just want to give that a little mention. They've fixed audio latency, NPC roaming, and it's good to see these games still getting updates. A couple of years after at 1999.
Making sure that the demo works with the source code too, which is good.
Yeah.
If you're going to be like having the source available, then make sure that the game files actually work with those.
I was trying to find something to play during the there's a Squeenix sale going on right now. Yeah, I found like 190% off title, but I got a little excited. I saw it because I have way too many Square Enix games that I've just never played, because it seems like they always have something on sale for like $20 or $9 or whatever. And I saw this and I'm like, oh, it's a mech game? Yeah, it's like part stealth and the other part you're just in a mech wrecking shit. I'm like, I've never heard of this game, and it was like mostly negative. I hate that. I was like, this looks really cool, but everybody hated it. Then you got to run the risk of like, is everybody else wrong?
Yeah, is this the brigade, or is there actually something wrong with the game?
Yeah, I didn't want to roll it. It was only like $5. It was normally $59.99, and it was like $5. I'm like, yeah, I'll pass, because I got to save up to get Assassin's the latest skin pack and retexturing of the same goddamn game since.
Hey, listen, EA Sports had a winning strategy, and Ubisoft wanted a slice of that pie.
Here's the dark thing, man, is the Assassin's Creed in Egypt Origins?
Yes, Origins.
Fucking love that. I rolled credits on that game. That game got me in. That was my first Assassin's Creed.
Wasn't Father from Raised by Wolves the main dude in that?
I think so, yes. Now, my first taste of Assassin's Creed was in the closed beta for Stadia. And I'm like, I kind of like this formula. I'm down with it. And by that time, Proton had come out, and I'm like, and Ubisoft was having like all of our games are 99 cents or whatever. And I bought it, loved it, had a great time. That made me go play like the Revolutionary War one and played like the first one. I never played Black Flag, but I like the modern incarnation. The first 2 times I played it, they haven't stopped. But maybe you want to play it on your Steam Deck.
Yeah, maybe. And it's and PC Guide was thinking that as well. And apparently, Assassin's Creed Shadows is Steam Deck verified. So they're like, well, is it actually? And sort of kinda. It is with FSR on. It runs at about 35-ish frames a second. Is
that higher or lower than you were expecting?
It's about on par. Like generally. Because generally with the Steam Deck profile, if it's like a modern-ish game, I think if you can do like 800p at like 30 frames a second, I think that's more than acceptable considering like any higher, and you will just empty the battery on your Steam Deck, right? Like it will just run out of power. It ceases to be useful as a handheld console. But yeah, so they gave this a little whirly brew. There is a little bit of stuttering, nothing that will be super impactful to the game, at least according to this footage. That's if you keep FSR on. If you keep FSR off, though, you just don't do that.
Like right now, we're seeing dudes running around. We're getting like 30 to 40 in a field with nothing going on.
There's some flickering. Yeah,
there is. They do bring that up. They're like, we don't know why the hell that happens.
Yeah, but it's not gameplay impacting or anything. Yeah, and there's the whole question is like, is this worthy of the Steam Deck like verified? And the thing that stuck out to me here is apparently if you launch this on the deck, there is no graphical options. They're gonna add that later, but I really feel that like that's kind of a no on a PC game because like everyone has a different potato playability.
This Ubisoft, man, they do what they want, dude. You get right.
You gotta buy more quartz if you want to change the resolution, right?
You need to buy more Ubi bucks, and you can unlock that. Well,
I gotta take a vacation in Thailand first.
You see, okay. Now, I saw this headline before I put it in the show notes, and I went out of curiosity. I'm like, why would anybody try to run this on a Steam Deck? I get it, like out of curiosity, but like seriously. And then I'm like, this guy's just writing a silly article to try to get some. And I went to the Steam website, like Steam Deck verified, and I'm like, I don't even have words for that. Like, what does that really mean then? It technically launches is all I want more to be.
There is a very, very narrow description of what Steam Deck verified means, and it basically means that you can see what the fuck is going on the screen and can interact with it with the controller. That's what Steam Deck verified means. It means that you can run the game and like actually play it on the Steam Deck. That's literally.
I want to go back to. We need more granular detail of like maybe over a year ago now. I was talking about like, especially with the Steam Deck, for verification to be like, can achieve between this and this and this on like low. Crazy idea? Maybe. I don't know.
And again, like in my book, it's like really you should be comparing like graphical fidelity and performance to say like the Switch. That's probably the closest like comparison you could generously make. And yeah, like you've seen how Witcher 3 runs on the Switch, right?
Well, that's not even the Witcher 3 though. That's like near. That's not even near. That has been completely remade with texture streaming and all that. They show up dressed like magicians, like David Blade or something. Like, look at this trick that we've done, isn't it amazing? And I'm like, but yeah, you got the Witcher 3 to run on 9-year-old mobile phone hardware that was outdated. That was like 2 years old when it was released. Brilliant, love it, neat trick. I will say this though. I will say this because I see people on the Steam Deck subreddit, like that rabbit hole for like squeezing out performance runs deep. Like there's an entire ecosystem of applications, open source apps, and modifications that people have done to get those FPS bumping it up. And I think that is like a mini game, if not a main game for some people of like, because you know what? A lot of people that have Steam Decks, that's their second PC. That's not their primary. That is the, I got the Steam Deck. I want to go play the game on the couch. So,
or I'm on an airplane for X number of hours. I need something to fill the
right. And I don't think, do you expect to be able to play, like when I saw Monster Hunter Worlds, I'm like, bullshit. And the downside that is, again, I do, because we do the news, got to keep an eye on our Steam Deck where people are like, no, it runs great. And people just, and then finally somebody's like, here's a recording of it actually running on the Steam Deck. And it was just a smear of a thing. And it's like,
well, so like, I don't know. Monster Hunter is a little bit of a strange case for me because it's an online game primarily in my mind.
How dare you? The story in the single player exists.
It does, but most people are trying to get groups with their friends and kill some monsters, and doing that over Wi-Fi probably not great, especially for like a Capcom, like a Japanese game. Jeez,
everybody's on Wi-Fi these days, dude.
Yeah, unfortunately. I don't know. Like, I played a little bit of Cyberpunk on my Steam Deck. It was fine. Again, I think it really boils down to calibrating your expectations, right?
It is. Like I wouldn't. Yeah. I look at it like I was playing those games on the Orange Pi. I did that video on. Playable, but it was more of like, does this even run? No, like I would be that would be me with the Steam Deck for like AAA titles, stuff that I wouldn't expect it to be able to get away. If it got away with it, kind of, maybe a little bit, I'd be happy with it.
And I think like really the type of game also kind of helps out in terms of playability, because if it's like I'll throw Baldur's Gate 3 as an example, because I think BG3 works really, really well in the deck context, because that is a large ass fucking game that you need to like spend time sitting down and poking at, and like the Steam Deck is great for that, because you can pick it up, play a little bit, put it down, and again, Monster Hunter don't really think it's that sort of game. God of War, maybe.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man
2. They rolled that one back. They were like, no, this thing runs on the deck. And I'm like, then everyone's like, no, fuck it, don't. And they're like, okay, maybe it doesn't.
But like, but something like an Assassin's Creed, I do feel like fits pretty well on the deck, just because there's a lot of shit to do in those games, right? Like, maybe you don't want to be sitting at a deck to like, or a desk to like collect all 5 ravens' asses or whatever, right? Like, maybe you just want to like chill on the couch while you have like a TV show going.
I think it worked great for that. And I think this is going to be something that is genuinely going to sell these Lenovos.
Yeah, I guess that's true as well. People are really hurting on the performance.
If I can,
I guess the question is like, what is the delta?
Should be significant generational upgrade, and like far as like the actual like GPU performance, I mean, it should be this is going to be fun to look at. No, I mean, we're both sitting back here. You're not going to run out and buy the Lenovo thing. Like, I'm probably not, but it's cool. And it's going to be a smooth transition, though. That's like the whole thing. Like you can effectively.
Or if I did, it would be to like hand down the regular Steam Deck to the wall or something.
Well, I mean, you're not having to deal with like your previous upgrade path was if you wanted a more powerful x86 handheld, you had to deal with Windows 11. Now it's going to be like, no, this thing officially runs SteamOS. So what do? You log in.
Mm-hmm. You point dope. Your phone at the QR code and then it instantly logs in.
Dude, Steam made me so happy the other day. Because I've been using, if you got the network stuff set up, if it's installed on one PC.
Did they stop the throttling? Because that was like it throttles it to like fast Ethernet speeds or some shit. Doesn't it?
No, I usually get like 800 megabits, 600 to 800, somewhere in there.
Okay, because like I remember it was like our sync was faster.
Oh, okay. Like, no, I mean it's fast enough where I'm like, I'm gonna go get something to drink, come back.
Okay.
It did something that kind of impressed me a little bit. Was I went to download I forget what it was, like Bayonetta or something like that. And it had a little pop-up, and it said, hey, man, PC called Orange Pi has a copy of Bayonetta on it if you want to go cut it on real quick. And I'm like, these, SBCs over on a shelf. And I'm like, that's right. So it'll remind you if you got like that installed on a local PC, like, hey, you want to go cut that on real quick? And I'm like, nah.
Do you want to like stream it from here, right? Like, I guess that's the dialogue.
No, to download the files.
Just local.
Yeah, the file transfer. It was smart enough to be like, no, I know that it's installed over on that single board computer or like, the other PC. If you go cut that on, you can skip this download and I'll just suck it off that real quick.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't normally I thought it just kind of automatically starts it. I never realized it prompts you now.
Well, no,
Or at least like if it knows that there is a local installation somewhere.
Right. I got the prompt because that PC was not on.
Mm.
And it was like, I know that there's a PC and I've been watching you, Vin. And I'm like, oh no, Steam, what you doing?
Yeah. You just have a little Gaben popping up from like the little corner. Just like,
oh, that'd be dope. Yeah, no, it's chat. What the fuck would you do, dude? Like you get that.
It's just like Bonzi Buddy, but it's just Gaben.
Nah, man, I'm just thinking like just random chat that you like back in the BBS days, you'd run into like fucking amends and just take your screen over and like, hey, how you doing? You get like an actual pop up, like yeah, from your friends. It's Gabe. He's like, sup? How you doing? It's really me.
Hi, Gabe. Can I have $1,000?
That gives you a link to a sniper game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh no, he's contacting me on Discord, not over Steam. I see. Okay.
There we go. Qualcomm has not got a new chip. No.
Sort of. They got 3.
Oh, damn. Shit. Better take a look at it then.
Oh yeah. It's the G-series. The G is for gamers.
S3.
Well, yeah, the S3, and yeah, they come with 3 new SoCs. One is they have these Prime cores now, which are like we're going a bigger big little architecture now. Yeah, you got the one like 2 gigahertz like super badass 4 gigahertz super badass core. You get the 5 or 4 performance cores on the G1 or G2 and G3. If you're just on the G1, you just get the performance cores and the efficiency cores. Yeah, these are going to be put in some brand new handhelds as well. There's going to be a couple from Ioneo and 1X Sugar. There's one that looks like a giant 3DS. I low-key kind of want that.
Frenchie's got the Ioneo one.
Oh, nice. Like the long one that's kind of like weird and floppy.
No, I was talking about this the other day in our super secret Discord. You know, the Lutris kid, you might know him, Strider, and he's like, yeah, I got one of those coming in the mail.
Nice.
I'm like, eat it, dick. I want one.
Lucky duck. Yeah, but these are some of like these badass Snapdragons that we were seeing in those Lenovo computers, right?
Enthusiast gaming, mainstream gaming, and you got gifted one because they didn't know which one to get you for the holidays.
That one's for your low end gaming phone.
Oh, your low end.
You know that's the thing.
This thing is diseased looking, though, man. That's not a gaming handset. That is a tablet.
I thought that for a second that the tablet would detach because I thought that would be a neat idea, right? Like, you can kind of,
if it had like Nintenchucks on the side, right?
Yeah, and it just kind of like collapses together like the GameSir or whatever. Yeah, that would be cool as hell. But no, that's that is some structural integrity issues.
This is an 8.3-inch tablet with somebody spliced cut a gamepad in half and like just tacked it to the side, so the top and bottom of the screen are like sticking out significantly. And like, I just look at that and I was like, that's gonna get broke. That looks more reasonable. The Pocket S2.
That's a slab. I wonder. I see that and I wonder how comfortable it is to actually like hold in your hand.
6.3 inches is kind of small though.
Seems very flat too. Like the Steam Deck has like curves and ergonomics. I don't know about this.
All right. Well, what about clamshell?
Oh, this is what I want real bad. The 1X Sugar one. It's big 3DS. The big 3DS. I do want
detachable. The screen's detachable, Jordan.
Oh my god! Be still, my beating fucking heart. I do wonder though. We were talking a little bit about CPU scheduling recently as well.
Yeah.
Especially for like E cores and P cores. Some games have a hard time dealing with them. Now you have 3 classes of cores. You got the prime cores, you got the performance cores, and the efficiency cores. I cannot help but wonder what kind of fucking scheduling nightmare
I've been watching
64 infects are just gonna have to deal with.
The CIX on this Razda, like the kernel upstreaming process. So I've been like reading through the code reviews.
Yeah.
And like that's something they run into because it's got 12 cores. It's got like, you know, the 1 like turbo YOLO core. It's got the 3 big cores and the 4 big cores and the 4 not so big. Yeah, it's weird. These scheduling has to be a goddamn nightmare in those.
Yeah, especially when your program's like, I want 3 CPUs, please.
Yeah.
And yeah, your fucking operating system shows up and is like, I got a fucking trench coat full of CPUs. You want P cores, you want E cores, you want prime cores.
I don't know. You know, at first I really didn't like the whole idea of E-cores, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting older, man. I'm like, the power efficiency thing has like got a little pull these days. I'm like, that's kind of neat. You'd be able to do a low power, how low power, but I still want the performance. I'm not willing to trade like slot like, performance for like, ooh, look how low I can go, you know?
And I guess this is like the compromise that they landed on, right? Like you are going to need like the CPUs that are like, you know, they can run tasks just at a very, very low power.
Yeah.
And then for the stuff that needs to boost, you have like one or five or whatever, like higher power cores. Like, I don't know if we can, because like right now what we had before, we had like they were trying to get away with like the burst clocks and like how low can we run it normally, and then like femtosecond burst to like
and
5
like the scaling and predictive.
Yeah, and I wonder, like, hiding that away from the developers, has that created like new problems, because like you're just kind of expecting your operating system to deal with these things, and software is specific in its requirements, right? Like there needs to be some way to deal with it.
See, here's the trick: we're going to run it in a virtual machine on top of Linux.
No, we're going to be, well, yeah, that's the other problem. We're going to be emulating an x86 CPU on top of this, so good luck.
Yeah. Have some fun. These things are, they say the GPU on these things are like 28% better than what is in the current gen Snapdragons. The laptops on Amazon, you know them as frequently returned the item. People just don't pay attention to that when they buy it. See, this is
it's not even because there's a problem with it, it's just because they have Snapdragons and they're just like, I wanted to think bad.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, that one is more expensive. I'll buy that one, and they get it and they realize like half their shit don't run because it's running Windows with an emulation. I send it back. I like clueless, oblivious. Yeah, there you go. Sort of want, and we'll wait. We'll see, dude. I want to see these things. Qualcomm's gone. You know, they've probably been sitting on this, waiting for that lawsuit.
Yeah, now that that's gone in their favor, they're just like, let's pump the gas.
Yeah, let's do it. So we'll see. We'll see. You got a PlayStation controller, don't you?
Yes, I do. It's right here.
Mine?
I have to. Yes.
Oh, yours is, but mine's Hooker Red. You got a fancy one. Mine's a 4.
I got this one for like free because I bought too much meat at the grocery store.
Yeah. Again, like at least you got a proper color.
Yes. I saw that too. I'm like, oh, I have to get the hot pink one, especially.
You gotta get the fucking hot pink. There's not for game controls, like stuff like that might show up on stream. You're like, yes, the gaudiest thing we can get. If it sparkled, even better.
Yeah, and as I get older and as I like stop being concerned with like trying to impress fake people I make up in my head, it's like, oh, it's ugly and it's cheap. Yoink.
Well, I mean, this is why I went for red. For whatever reason, red controllers are cheaper.
Yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason to it.
Because bulls will come and attack you in the middle.
Why are we talking about Sony controllers? Well, there's a new patent. PlayStation controllers with a one unique feature.
The sun.
Dude. About damn time. This comes from Game Rent. You can find all this over on linuxgamecast.com. They'll be linked in the show notes below the video. Sony wants to harness the power of a star. That's right, slapping some photovoltaic hotness on their next gamepad. Maybe not. It reads like this thing might not just charge. You leave it out and get up charge, but this thing's going to be able to run without batteries, just using the power of the sun. Which, all right, that's pretty dope. As long as you like, I like the idea of like remembering to leave your controller in the windowsill.
Well, I wonder how much of this is trying to combat gaming in a dark room.
Well, I mean, my immediate thought I was like, well, fuck all good that does me. Like, especially in here, because like everything is like rock wool insulated. There's no light in here. I'd have to tear shit out of the windowsills in order to get like natural light in this room because it's sound
these windows, these wooden windows behind me, they just lead to under a deck. So there's just like wood on top of there. There's no light.
Then I was like, oh, what we could do is we could get a desk lamp and plug that in, then use a 100-watt light bulb.
No, you get one of the UV bulbs for plants and then you just shine it.
No, that's not inefficient enough. I want the like most inefficient transference of energy. Yeah. Why? You know what? So to scrap this, I want a microwavable version. I want to just pop it in the microwave for like a minute.
What weren't they like demoing a battery that you could charge by peeing on it?
That sounds familiar enough to where it could have been Like, where's this been though? Like, this is a reasonable idea, you know, just from like ambient light. You're not going to go from like 0 to half charge in 10 minutes. No, but just randomly just sitting out, sucking in just a little bit every now and keep it kind of topped off.
Yeah, and like they bring it up in the patent, right? It's like, it's just fucking annoying when your controller runs out of power just randomly because you forgot to plug it in.
Doubly so with the Sony, because your option is plug it in.
Yeah, and you know, and so
they haven't developed advanced technology like Microsoft
with replaceable batteries.
Yeah.
Or the Nintendo technology of, yes, we're just going to stick a handheld console battery in our controllers. They'll just last forever.
Yeah.
This is meant to just drive 2 displays and an ARM CPU. I'm just running a controller with a Bluetooth.
If you're ever wondering why that Pro controller lasts for months,
yeah. But what I really want is one that charges off of like the salt from the sweat from my hands, so that as I'm sweating it.
You got a real issue with that too. You like bought gamer chalk, didn't you?
Well, I mean, I bought chalk for weightlifting, but I was also using it for controls. Yeah,
they make gamer chalk now.
They do, and I got real sweaty hands. Yeah. I mean, between this and like the shooty pew pew patent that we were talking about a couple months ago, where you can like hold the thing like this. I have a ton of photos of this in the fucking thumbnails or whatever. But yeah, or Sony is kind of going nuts with the controller tech, and like,
do something.
No, they hyped the hell out of the all the features in the DualSense, and there's like 5 fucking games that actually use them all. But like it really. I don't know. Sony seems to believe that there's still room to innovate with the controller. I know a lot of people think that like controllers kind of peaked with the Xbox 360 controller, and like there's certainly an argument to be made there.
It means the Duke.
No, yes, the Duke. The Xbox S controller, the Type S. That was But yeah, I don't know. There's probably still some room to innovate. Like Nintendo was trying. Sony's really trying to like really dive into how you interact with the game. I think Astrobot was using a lot of like the weird DualSense controllers.
Well, I was thinking about like you know, even this PS4's got a little microphone on it.
Yeah. I remember when my old roommate got a PS4. Infamous has you. There's like a spray painting mini game in the game, and you got to like hold the controller and like hold it like a spray can and like use it to spray stuff. So like they're like stuff like that to like give you a little bit more verisimilitude, or even like in a driving game.
I was thinking like if it's got a microphone that I can like, because did you ever play like football, a little fold up football where you tried to like thump it like and it not fall off the other side of the desk? We used to play it in school, the little triangle. Yeah. Like, what if you could do that with like blowing it?
Yeah, or there's lots of neat stuff like in PlayStation 5 games like Spider-Man. When you get phone calls from people, it comes through the controller.
I would wee myself.
Yeah, there's all sorts of neat shit that you can do, and I
remember the first time the controller rumbled on me, dude. Like I've been playing on Linux, man. Like I hadn't been fucking around with like Windows, not because I'm cool or anything. It's just what I had. So like the first time.
Oh yeah, when Ethan added that in.
I jumped. Legitimately, what the fuck's this?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, that was another time. That was before they got all the bugs worked out. Yeah, these things sound really interesting going across a glass desk.
Well, you got to race them to see which one goes faster, right?
That made me jump more than anything. I was like, oh boy. So yeah, there we go. Sola controllers coming soon to a PlayStation near you. Now, let's talk about. I'm genuinely curious. I want somebody to play the devil's advocate on this, because I look at this and I'm like, this ain't nothing but good news, ladies and gentlemen. The EU did it good for gaming. They did.
I don't. Oh, wait, hold on. I have makeshift devil horns.
Oh no, that was actually, was that this week or last week?
Which?
Yes. No, the St. Patrick's Day thing.
Oh yeah, that was this week, I think.
Was it this week? Because I saw somebody dressed as a leprechaun, and I'm like,
Mike.
The EU launches crackdown on pricing tricks in games like Fork Knife and Call of Duty. So happy to see this. No more maths, no more spreadsheets when you're buying your digital currency, at least in the EU for now. Now, games must, from now on, clearly display real world currency equivalent to any in-game item. And that's just the icing. I'm like, you already had me at that. You had me at
that was step 0. And then they're like, oh, wait, there's a lot more too. I read through that entire fucking thing.
Yeah, dude. And so we get to that. So what do we think about just like that step 1 there? I'm like, that's pretty good. I'm down with that. 200 booty bucks is $1.99 USD. 2,400. That seems reasonable, right?
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, not price wise, but like.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yes. From a standpoint of being able to deobfuscate the cost of things.
Yes. Absolutely. As any reasonable person not trying to extract money looks at that and goes, yeah, that's perfectly fucking reasonable. What were you telling me that wasn't a thing?
Yeah. And this was a big problem. And the other thing here is they cannot have mismatched like virtual currency purchases with actual items. So there's no buy 12 V-Bucks or whatever. Everything costs 5 V-Bucks. So you're always going to have some left over.
Our Ye-Bucks, Re-Bucks come in. Yeah. So if you want the Arsenal, the pack comes in packs of $4.99.
Yeah. So the document that the EU Commission released has like a bunch of like visualizations of like what they expect people to do, and like sort of action points for developers and studios to take home, which is really good because it's very specific call to action. Don't do these things. Here are the behaviors to avoid. Here's what you should do. So yeah, the other thing too is they're saying no more whale baiting. You are not allowed to be using techniques that are psychologically taking advantage of people with gambling addictions, and you can be held liable for that, which is another good thing as well. One thing I am curious about, because the child, he recently got his Roblox account banned for
what?
I have no idea. Apparently his name violates some trademark or something. I don't fucking know. But the point was, he was worried that he has a valuable Roblox account, and Roblox is another one of these games that uses a ton of digital currency, and they, as a content creation tool, they pay people out in the virtual currency as well. So I do wonder how something like this will affect Roblox, especially because they're using this to skirt the child labor laws. Oh, don't worry, they're not actually working and selling things. It's just a game, you guys. But once once it's listed as yes, this thing that a child made is available for $4, and they're not going to get any of that money. Yeah, like I gotta wonder how this is going to shake out.
It's going to be interesting to see. Like, this all just seems like, and of course they just like straight up call out like the biggest offenders, like people like Fortnite, FIFA, NBA, the sports ball games that are just littered with, and a lot of us don't play these sports ball games, but if you've ever seen it, it would make Fortnite blush. All right. Mm-hmm. They're just completely cracked out. And yeah, this just makes sense. Anything that you get in a video game, cosmetic or not, should just have local currencies. Like, this is how much this item is going to cost you to buy. And
the other cool thing is the right to withdraw as well. So even if you're buying shit with the virtual currency, you can get your refund. Yeah, as long as it's within 14 days.
And that balls out. Like, a lot of these gacha games, like, they will have by design, they will have 3-4 different currencies in game to like confuse like how much you spent versus how much until it ends up as this item. Then they could be like, no, it's not pay to win because you can only buy this with it. Oh, but don't you need the money to buy that? Then you can sell that for that and that, then get the item. Yeah, see, not pay to win. Yeah, just clarify. Yeah,
you just have to play the game for 80 hours and then you can unlock Darth Vader.
Maybe you have a chance at it.
Yeah, if you're lucky, you can. I didn't say you will. You can.
Have you ever bought digital currency? That's what I'm curious about, because I've been thinking about this. I don't think I've ever bought digital currency. I bought a car in Rocket League. I know I did that. And I bought DLC, but I've never bought like an in-game.
No, I can't recall any time I've done that. I've definitely been tempted a few times in Magic Arena, but then I realized that's a stupid idea. And I can just go print some cards if I really want to play with them.
They the last time that came to mind was, we were talking about Assassin's Creed, was Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which I was playing like the PC version after Ubisoft went back. You don't remember that? Just egregious pay to win, like pay to get through this game.
here's some like obscene fucking levels. Do you want to spend 90 hours grinding, or would you like to get to the next level?
100% what they did. And they did the same thing in the second Lord of the Rings game. WB did the same shit.
Yes, Shadow War.
Yeah. But I remember in Assassin's Creed, and I bought it after they had ripped all that stuff out, but they'd never balanced it correctly. And I clearly hit that. That's when I quit playing the game, dude. I was like, you just hit the wall, dude. You're like,
and then like sometimes they're just like, oh yeah, and when they rip it out, here's 1 million fucking fake itchy and scratchy dollars. Have fun.
Ubisoft ain't gonna do that.
No, Ubisoft's not going to do that. I've seen a few games that do that.
Yeah. So yeah, good on EU, and I hope this like causes, because you know a lot of these companies are just lazy as fuck. Well, this might be enough of a profit motive for them to maintain business as usual in every place that they can still get away with it. But yeah, that's always been shady. That's always been done to confuse people. Like, I don't have time to keep track of it. And if I was buying, and what Jordan said, the whole like where you end up having to buy like 2 packs of magic currency in order to get the thing, that's all done by design, and that's bullshit. Always has been.
Well, and these fuckers would have conferences about how better to attract whales and these techniques. And there is millions and millions of dollars and hours of like research being done into doing this. They have it down to a science, and it's working because they're making shit tons of money, and they really shouldn't be. So what I would love to see is
Redsky brings up like, what about like the whole currency ecosystems in like World of Warcraft or like Eve?
So those are all like external though. Like gold farming isn't, or I guess up until recently, gold farming wasn't allowed in WoW. Because eventually they're just like, oh wait, we like money. You can just give us money and we'll give you in-game gold. But at least
made it easier.
So. Yeah. But like these things were like always sort of secondary market stuff. And oftentimes like pretty explicitly disallowed by the terms of services. Like in Steam, you can't sell your account. That's not like allowed. People do it anyways. But
how much would you take for your account?
My account?
Yeah. Like let's say somebody rolled up tomorrow and they're like, I'll give you 50 grand Canadian for it.
Honestly, yeah, I'd take that.
Yeah.
Like to be fair, a lot of my Steam library is humble games that like I don't really care about. They just came with the bundle. So
as long as you wipe change the username, yeah, sure. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, we got some rare games in our account too that we were given over the years. We got the games that have just been pulled off Steam. You can't get
those at Earth 2000 or 2049 or some shit like that. Yeah,
dude, that's wild. So yeah, good on you, EU. Everybody, like, get into this because like
get fucked Activision, get fucked Epic.
Yeah, and you know what? Actually, get money though, because you're going from like 0 chance I see that shit where I'm like, where I have to start doing like calculations to like fuck all that. But if there's something I'm like, oh, you know what? I want an axe that farts rainbows. Fuck 99.
DJ Wheat had a take that I thought was like pretty logical in my mind, is that like there's a lot of games where like you pay $60-$70 for, you maybe play them for like a couple hours, put them down, and then you never touch them again, right? And for a microtransaction, if you're playing this game pretty frequently, like you're just checking in once a day, and like you spend like $10-$20 on it, like that's still a better financial investment in terms of like money extracted for, or money spent for enjoyment gathered, right? So like there's definitely a place for these things. They just have to like not be abusive. They have to be fair, and they need to like be harmless ultimately. Yeah. And
make a good game that people want to pay you money for. This is really going to affect, I think. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments. But like all the gacha games, the Genshin Space Trains and shit like that. Like those are, I think,
Honkai Star Impact. Or something.
Like those are more advanced sketchy than what we're talking about. But it's still going to apply to them as well.
Yeah, Zenless Zone Subverse or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like give me a good game, entice me to like give you some cash. Like don't quit trying to fuck people after you've already got their money. If it's a free to play game, make your game really good. And a lot of these games are really good, and like you'll get money. Like you're not gonna. I just don't see a situation where you got somebody like me, where I'm like, I'm not spending any money on the fucking thing. Like, you're not gonna change that at any point.
Right, but that's why they needed to have that provision against like whale baiting, because you and me are not the spenders, but there are people with impulse control issues and unrestricted credit cards and, small children who will just like steal their parents' credit cards, that will just do this shit, right?
Remember, kids, small purchases.
Remember, kids, patreon.com/Linux Gamecast.
There you go.
That's how you do it.
It's just a website that you shouldn't go to with your parents' credit card unless bring a parent with you and head over to Linux Gamecast, where you can find a link to not just that, but many other places under our support tab. As Jordan said, we have a Patreon page, and this is how you can get access to our super secret Discord, live and uncut versions of the show, name in the credits, and just a gang of shit as a thank you for making this show possible. Of course, we got LibrePay, we got PayPal, we got Magic Internet Money, we got Wishlist. Jordan's got one, Jill's got one, I got one. We got a merch store, and I think we got a Humble Link, but I don't know if that works. But I want to thank each and every one of you.
I don't know either.
Making this show possible. We get to do it. Try to have a good time. Next week is going to be a little chaotic, but plans have been made. So you might want to tune in live. I don't know. See, part of me, I've got to speak in code. Is like, I want to do all the effects in post because I can get up to so much more shit.
But yeah, what is the level of effort?
Yeah, but the pure jankiness of it live is probably going to be the sell of it. Yeah, man. You guys get anything?
I wonder if I can get like a bodysuit or something.
Oh God. You know what? I might. All right. That's yep. Thank you for that. Did you and Sandra play the
Yeah. We cleared out one of the Thieves' Den bases, and then we got double teamed by two very horny guys underground.
Check out Baldur's Gate, 7:30 p.m. right here on Twitch. I do Trackmania on Tuesdays and Fridays if you want to participate in that. If you're a patron, Twitch sub, YouTube sub, hook it up. There's a link on not interfacing Linux. That's another thing. Go check that out. That's a whole other side project I'm up to. And weekly, daily Wednesdays. I finally, the GIMP 3.0 came out?
Yes.
And I made this is, I think, the third scenery change for LWDW.
It's a new era.
A new era with a circuit board.
Kind of raspberry flavored, a little bit.
A little bit. Well, that's still the original color.
Okay.
The background is still whatever value that is, like from the original logo. And I stuck that together.
More of a strawberry.
And GIMP 3.0 now with non-destructive editing, and it's a lot more sluggish, but they're working on it. Yeah. All right. There we go. I think that's going to wrap us up. So it is time to we do a little outro, then we'll roll some credits. If you want to get in touch with me, I'm on all the social medias. I'm at Vince Stone. The best place to get in touch with me is over on the Interfacing Linux forums. Then I'll get back to you there. If you get a question, just holla at me in general disarraison in our Discord. Because me and Jordan, even down to like, Jordan's like, power's out, fool. And I'm like, cool, that's our Slack. But we invite you all to come and gawk at us. And if you get any questions over on Interfacing Linux, hit me up.
You want to talk to me, you got to get those J-Bucks, and those J-Bucks are only available on our store for $49.99 V-Bucks, and you can only get those for, I don't fucking know. You can once you get all that digital currency, though, head on over to Frojo at bsky.app or Frojo at mass.linuxgamecast.com and spend them on me. Yes.
Yeah, do it. We're now only accepting V-Bucks.
J-Bucks, which you can only buy in V-Bucks.
Well, dude, I got OG
which you can only
V-Bucks.
buy in Robux. Yeah.
Oh, I just realized I got
the RG bucks.
My arms are
They're green.
Yeah. Credits. Hey,
Murder
I updated
Bush.
bullshit. I updated that.
Listen, I didn't choose the Murder Bush life. The Murder Bush life chose me.
No, I'm mad now.
All right.
Damn it, where are the credits? I rendered credits out anyway.
Well, we got to thank our Theron, our advisor, executive producers, 1, 2, 3, 4, Ian, Kodaki, drummer, Thargos, Barbram, Scott, Atomic, Chicago Kicks, Ass Tier, Empty, Eggy, Basil, and Casey. And we got our Sea Monsters. We got John, Dirty Dean, Angel, Dementor, System T, RL, Ryder, X Bacana, Nemo, Verdanuda, Trudgy, Mike, and Kaijo Rai.
All of our Death Notes. Bradsky, Mark, Benjamin, Nova, Chad, Leonardo, Kim, Chris, Jill, says Sheeps, and Steves.
And we got Sherlings, Beckett, Tim, Euthanasia, Mr. Amish, Strider, North Ranger, Colin, NMAG, Professor Zin, and we got Libra player Sandy and Shoddy. They're there.
Damn it. I have no idea. Well, you know what? I'm just going to use those credits for next week. Fine. I had a clever thing I wrote on it. I'm not mad. You're mad. Yeah.
We're all mad here.
Yeah.
We all float down here.
Dynafire, everyone. We'll see you next week.
5 dudes.